Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different, not a dungeon run, not a trial, because contrary to popular belief, Final Fantasy XIV is not all dungeons and trials. There's a lot of overworld content that we've yet to really dive into yet. So today we're going to be doing a little bit of questing while I detail my plans for the future, things of that nature, and show people out there who are new to the game what is fate grinding and how do you even really do it. And there is a few things that make it a lot easier. They're not necessarily mandatory, but they sure help a lot, namely having your chocobo to rank 4, which is a vicious cycle because if you don't have it to rank 4 you can't solo some boss fates, but to even get to it you gotta grind a lot. But first off, there's a very important shortcut that a lot of people don't really know about or utilize. And that's if you need to go to Vesper Bay, I think it's called. If you're in Limbs of Lamensa, just take the ferry. It's cheaper, usually, than teleporting, and it's, takes you right to where you want to be, right near the Waking Sands. So that is an important thing. It'll save you money, it'll save you time, and sanity. And that's always a good thing to keep on you, sanity. Now, I'm sure some people are going to say, Barak, you've kind of just skipped over the Sunken Temple of Karn and Cutter's Cry. Excuse me. And yes, that is true to an extent. I have kind of just skipped that for right now. Why? Because, quite honestly, while most people find fate grinding to be mind-numbing, I personally find it really enjoyable. Like I said, I'm an old-school MMO player. I like grinding. Just give me a good reason to do it, and I will grind away content all day. So, I mean, it's a good source of Grand Company seals. It's a decent source of experience if you go to the right place, and there's a lot of people doing it. But it's unreliable sometimes, because sometimes fates won't spawn in a timely manner, or at least as timely as you want it to be. And let's just face it, sometimes it can be a little bit... well, I don't want to say boring, because it's never really boring if you're trying to improve your rotation like I do when I fate grind, but I don't know. The best place I've found for 30 to 35... Oh, excuse me, 30 to 35 if you're having trouble, and that's usually when I start fate grinding, is 30 to 35, is Costa del Sol, which we'll get into in a couple minutes, literally a couple minutes. And I'll get into it a little more in depth then. But for now, my plans for the future. Like I said, I'm going to be leveling up Monk to 60, or at least, you know, making an attempt to, and for some reason I never did get those out of my my inventory, but yeah. I'm going to be taking Monk to 60, I'm going to be taking, in all likelihood, I don't know if I'll be taking a tank to 60 or not. I would like to have a Paladin, or a Warrior, either one. I'm not sure which one I'd want yet. That's the main reason I'm not tank yet, is because I don't know which tank I want. I mean, I was a Prot Warrior. Well, I was a Fury Warrior for most of World of Warcraft, but when I tanked, I was a Prot Warrior. I dabbled in Prot Paladin, not really my thing. But the thing is, Warriors are kind of different than Paladins. I'm sure a lot of the veterans are going, well, no crap, they're different jobs. Yes, they are, but the thing is, with Warrior, you're not so much a mitigation tank so much as a damage sponge. And when I'm a tank, I like being the mitigation guy. I like being the tank where the healer has time to just sit back, not relax, but has time to sit back, do some damage, and not have to worry about keeping my butt alive any more than he has to. So, by that logic, my main tank should probably be the Paladin. But my hatred of pickup groups has kind of made me not tank. One day, whenever I find a free company, I will probably be their tank. Or, let's be honest, I'll probably just be the monk. But I would love to moonlight as a tank. Not really interested in healing right now. No real particular reason. I don't mind healing in dungeons. I've done that for 10 years now in MMOs. That's just not my prerogative. I just feel like doing leveling a melee DPS. But as far as the way I'm going to gear myself, hell, dude, I don't know. I don't know how you do that. I'm going to have to look it up when I get to 60 or get to 50. But for now, I'm just having fun, man. A lot of people would say you're missing out on, like I said, Sunken Temple of Karn. Yeah, I am. And I'm going to do it eventually because I'm going to start doing roulettes a lot more often, but I mainly do roulettes on my lower level characters, which is not a good thing to do. Normally you want to do your roulettes on your higher level characters because the rewards scale on, I believe, character level. But now we're going to be getting into fate grinding. I know it's a bit of a sudden transition. It's mainly because I forgot about it myself. I forgot it was at the 5-minute mark on the dot, but... Fate grinding. If you're above 35, the best place I've found is Central Quarthus Highlands, but be aware, sometimes you're not going to have the optimal group, and sometimes people will just start the fate early. As you can tell, we don't really have a tank, and situations like this are very common in fates. You're not always going to have the Holy Trinity. Sometimes you're just going to have to make do with what you have. And as a monk, I can tell you from experience, there's nothing quite so annoying as not having a tank. I mean, it's not difficult to just move and hit stuff, but when you don't know the path the AI is going to take with the mob, like this, it just turns around randomly. It's just a pain in the butt, man. But that's the monk life. That's the life I signed up for. And that's the life I've come to try and compensate for. Of course, sometimes when mobs just pull a Houdini, you just go, what? But, yeah, it's not that bad. But the thing with fate grinding is, I don't think I could probably tank this, because at the moment this video is made, I believe Toby was only level 3. I just recently got Toby to level 4 by just fate grinding the crap out of everything on both my Dragoon and Monk. Like I said, I really enjoy fate grinding. I probably shouldn't as much as I do, considering it's probably a leading cause of insanity among Final Fantasy XIV players, but a lot of people also make the judgment that if you do nothing but fate grinding, you never really learn your class, and while I can certainly see that argument, personally I don't buy into it. Now, if you're just going, lazy mode, fate grinding, yeah, that's probably correct. But if you do fates like I do and just treat it as I don't want to say job out, but like a job practice thing. For example, as a melee, as a DPS, in a, oh crap, what's it called? Like a gauntlet fate, not the big boss one like we're doing here, but if you, like in the gauntlet fate, I found out the number. If you hit 6 mobs, they all have to die. You don't have to 100 to 0 them, but they do have to die. As long as you hit 6 mobs, you get full credit. Now, if you exploit that and go lazy mode and just hit 6 mobs and let everybody else kill it, yeah, you're not going to learn a darn thing. But if you do it the way you're supposed to do it, and actually, say, try and kill things very quickly so you can get the credit, it helps you do more damage. Or, for example, if a tanks, I believe, if I might be wrong here, but I believe tanks get credit based on their enmity created, and healer as well. Now what this means is, as a tank, you want to have high enmity. That's pretty much the job description of a tank in a nutshell. You want to keep everything on you, so that prepares you for dungeons. Now, again, if you just go lazy mode and just spam flash or whatever, yeah, you're probably not going to learn anything. But the main one that people learn or should learn from is healer if you're not lazy, because they go by enmity as well. Now, you get enmity from healing, you get enmity from dealing damage. So, if you're actually healing the tank and doing damage at the same time, you're going to get the maximum amount of credit. So that, again, teaches you to DPS while you are healing. Now, a lot of people won't do this. A lot of people are not going to get the full training out of Fates. But if you go in with the right mindset, Fates are a very good way to learn your job. But you have to go in with the right mindset, otherwise you're just gonna, level up your character, but you're not gonna learn anything. And yes, I know this is taking an inordinate amount of time, and you're probably bored of watching me beat the crap out of Gaviel here, but he's almost dead, don't worry. This is mainly just to showcase what the hell you do when you have no tank, no nothing, and the correct answer was just get lucky until a warrior shows up, I guess. Or just keep kiting it around in a circle. But the whole thing is basically just learn how to wing it, because you're going to be doing a lot of it if you fate grind. You're going to be doing a lot of winging it. And on that note, there is one fate that I was so mad that I did not record. I was fate grinding on my monk in Costa del Sol, and I believe it's called It's Not Lupus. And being a huge House fan myself, I was like, oh, this fate is awesome. Until I actually was in the thing and got hit for like 800 by an AoE. And then I realized, this thing does not mess around. And not to mention the fact that there's about 30 ads on the beach all trying to kill everybody and they have as much health as the boss, that's fun. And the boss's name is Cancer, so you can kind of see where that's going. But that gave like 30,000 XP, that was a fun one. I was so mad, I was like, holy crap, I did not flippin' record that. Why did I not record that? But yes, fate grinding can range anywhere from, like I said, mind-numbingly boring to just doing a dance, because this fate in particular, the rutting buffalo or whatever it is, you will get swarmed very quickly if you are careless. As you'll see, I am usually very careless during fates if I have my chocobo out, because you can't really die unless you just make an effort to get hit repeatedly. And that goes without saying, you don't do that. But as you can see, they just all go in a big circle and then just start AoEing the crap out of any unfortunate soul going to be in there, and I already have 3 aggro on me. But thankfully, things like this usually don't have a whole lot of health if they're going to be mobbing you. Sometimes they will, and at that point you just gotta run, man. Or rely on your chocobo to keep you alive. But fate grinding is a legitimate way to level. It's probably not the most efficient. The most efficient, if I had to guess, would probably be queuing up for Duty Finder like that bard over there, it looks like a bard, and just doing fate grinding in the meantime. That's one way to do it. It's probably the most efficient, but that's not the way I like leveling. Because I like having my chocobo out when I'm doing fates, not going in by my lonesome. It's a lot easier, I'm sure, as a range class than a melee if you're going to do that, but as a melee, having that healing chocobo next to you, it helps. It makes it not as scary. Now, if you go in with the DPS chocobo, by all means, man, I hope you taught at least Choco Regan. Actually, that's probably worthless. Don't just go in for Choco Regan. You'll want to have something a little better than that if you're going to make investment in there at all. But now we're getting off topic onto companions, and not really what I wanted to talk about, but I was originally talking about fates. But yeah, good locations for fates that I've noticed would be like I said, Costa del Sol, Central Corthus Highlands, Quarry Mill, if there's a lot of people there. Usually there's not a lot of people there in that shroud. I forget which shroud it is. Was that South Shroud? I never remember the shrouds, like where towns are, but Quarry Mill I know is a place where a lot of fates can be. Any of the starter zones, usually there's going to be fates for your alternate classes, and that's a good thing to do if you're leveling up an alternate class from Zip, is simply just go around the starter areas, do the fates. They're easy peasy, especially if you have a chocobo. It helps you speed up your leveling from 1 to 10 very quickly. Trust me, I would know. I have everything at least... Did I record this? I don't think anybody ever did this, so I left. Oh wait, I remember what I did here. I think I went back there just to listen to the music so you guys could get a feel for the... maybe I did not. I'm pretty sure I did, though. But anyway, it's a different music. That's when you know crap's going down. If you go into a fate where a different music starts playing, crap's about to get real, son. So don't mess around with it. A lot of fates you can get away with, oh, I'll just sit in the AoE. Don't do that with things like that, with fates like... oh crap, what was it called? Eye for an Eye, and... oh god, that one was funny if you're a new player. Eye for an Eye in Central Corthus is a funny fate if you're new. I'll give you a hint so you don't die as stupidly as I did. If you see 100 on swing, was it swing or was it... oh crap, he had like two different moves. And from what I understand, that's a boss in like... Cutter's Cry, was it? Or is that Aurum Vale? Oh crap. Well, either way, if you see a big thing like that, I think it's 100 on swing, get the hell away from it. Don't sit in melee range. You'll die instantly. Just little tips like that. You'll find sometimes you will die during fates, and you may well be embarrassed. I know I usually am if I die and there's 20 people looking at me, but you know, just don't underestimate fates. They'll kick your butt if you let them. And I believe this will probably be the last fate I show, because really, I mean, you're just watching fate grinding while I'm talking. That's really this whole thing is. It's not a progression video. It's really just showing you how I just jump 4 levels between videos, so you don't just go, how the hell do you do that? You know, I'm new. I want to do that too. Well, this is how I did it. It's mind-numbing for some people, but you know, for me, it's just fun, man. I would imagine most people probably would find dungeons more fun, but whatever you find fun, go for it, man. It's your subscription. Oh wait, I forgot one. Sorry, everybody. I got your hopes up, but you probably already noticed from the videos. Like this video is like extra 5 minutes. I don't think this is the last fate. Yeah, this is one of those. Just don't be afraid. If you see at least one other person and you know this isn't like a really big fate, and you might as well go for it. I mean, it's me, and what is that? I can't tell what class that is. They're using Benefic, so I'm guessing that's an Astrologian. Which, never mind, I guess this works out quite well. But if you see one other person, normally you can get it through. Of course, sometimes you're going to have ads, and that's my fault for not pulling him farther away because I was new to the Fate. But this is another one of those, just, you gotta just be able to adapt and just keep aggro. Because sometimes as a DPS player, you're going to be asked to tank during boss fights. Is it optimal? Hell no, it's not. But you gotta keep that stuff off the healer. At least, or you don't have to, but you should hopefully want to keep it off the healer, because they're the one keeping your butt alive. Assuming they're the kind of healer that will actually, you know, heal you. I've noticed a disturbing thing in a lot of Fates, that a lot of healers just will not heal you, because they're so hell-bent on getting their credit, and there's nothing wrong with them wanting to get credit, but, you know, when the tank dies, that's no bueno for anybody. But yeah, I'm not going to make you watch the whole thing here, but just be ready to do something a little bit outside your role. As a Lancer in tank gear, which is not a good thing. As a Dragoon, I'm sorry, in tank gear, I'm more equipped than most DPS, like a monk who wanted to handle this. Because I have some tank gear on. So yeah, just be flexible, basically, if you're Fate grinding. Don't be rigid in your practices, or you might not get much done. So yep, this is the way I Fate grind. It's probably not the most efficient, but just go with the Zerg, go to where places have a lot of Fates, and just have fun with it. That's my advice. Later, everybody.